What I will say,
Yeah, it's all good.
what I will say is that the eyelash is one of my top five least favorite parts of the human body. It's not number one. I don't even know what number one is, but the eyelash is top five, and it ain't five. I know that much. Hate eyelashes. Soul Edge, April 1996 in arcades. Later known as Soul Blade in the first game in the Soul Calibur series. Anyway, hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, what has happened, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast.
Too many shows.
Too many shows. Some of them I may even be referred to as Pete instead of Omar, and this is one of those. This is the Whatever We Want podcast, and I am joined as usual by my co-host and one of my best friends in the world, the man who bears watching, Super Jazz.
As nature intended. What's going on, everybody? Yes, that's right. I go by the name of Jazz, or you can call me Super Jazz, SJJT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And as my wonderful friend slash co-host just said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We don't lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they move. And that's MUNE, where they move.
Every Wednesday in June. Yes, sir. Yes. So, how you been, man? What's up with you?
Shit, yo fucking slick Rick, fucking pirate looking ass. You tell me how the fuck you been? What was happening? What part of recording the hell?
You know, I'm not a pirate. I just play one on film. Ha ha! That'll make sense in like a year or so. Anyhow, no, I'm doing all right. Kind of dealing with an issue with the eye, be it an eyelash or a cat hair or something. It has been my nemesis for like the last hour getting ready to film this. Keep thinking I'm done with it. Keep thinking I'm removing it. It hasn't been removed. It is what it is, though. Show must go on. If I gotta be one-eyed Pete for this show, then so what? That might help it rearrange in here to a position where it's easily acquirable and removable later. You know what I'm saying? Also, keeping the eye closed alleviates some of the discomfort. So that's what
Hey man, look, you gotta do what you gotta do, cause I mean, let it be known. I was like, hey, I got all the time in the world as far as being off and having time today and tomorrow. But I know Pete, my man here, wanted to record an episode to make sure that we had one, which I understand. But I was like, dude, I got all the time. You sure you don't want to just like maybe postpone this shit?
show
Because
must go
you look like
on.
you don't look like you're having too much fun as it
As the show must go on. Come rain, come shine, come snow, come sleet. The show must go on.
comes stray hairs or objects and eyes.
Yeah. Pagliacci, Zoridi, Reed,
Pagliacci did not say through rain, hair, sleet, rain, hail, sleet, or snow.
Reedy. You know,
Uh,
the world is so full of a lot of wonderful things. I'm sure we should all be happy as, but are we? No.
what did you just say?
Definitely no. Positively no. Decidedly no. Uh-uh.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You see, short people have long faces, and long people have short faces. Big people have little humor, and little people have no humor at all. And to quote Dude Samuel Afra, as he was led to the guillotine, Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? Ha ha! My dad said be an actor, my son, but be a comical and they'll be standing in line for those who don't be told monkey shall they?
Do y'all know what the fuck is going on?
You don't know what's going on is the crazy part.
I feel like
Okay,
I feel like I'm watching
all
Dorian.
right. So there
Like
was a
Dorian, do
musical.
you know what the fuck is
There
happening?
was there was a musical back in the
Make them
40s
laugh. Yeah.
called Singing in the Rain, and there's a character in there, Cosmo Brown, I believe.
I tell people all the time that I'm really bad about my classics. Which what's funny is most of the people, and you didn't do this just now, so I'm not saying that, but what most of the people who say, dang man, for you to be an actor and you not know this, most of the people who say that are people who don't act. Because most of my actor friends who would have the right to say that don't say that. And most of the people who say something about me not knowing movies and shit as well as I should are people who don't act. Um, but yeah. And then I mean, you also got the kind of added layer of like the fact that I'm bad about, and I'm not going down that road for real, but the added layer of the fact that I'm bad about classics in general. In general, but when black people ask me about a lot of like classics that a lot of black people know, then people think, well, I don't watch black movies, and it becomes a thing too. And I'm like, no, I just don't know anything, y'all. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, mine wasn't necessarily just because it's a
That's
classic
why I
that
said it's
I
not.
was
You didn't.
surprised. I
You
know,
didn't.
but I'm saying it's not. My surprise wasn't because it's a classic. It is, but it was more because knowing me and not me knowing you being in theater and all that stuff. I figured you would be more familiar with Singing in the Rain, or that would be something that you have seen. Was
Yeah.
Singing in the Rain.
Right.
Uh,
Even if I had seen like a stage version of it, right?
and if you
Uh,
haven't, well, that needs to change. Um,
what's like your favorite musical if you could pick one?
Little Shop of Horrors.
That's right. I think you might have told me that.
Little Shop of Horrors. I'm a very easy man to be. Can I find some sentimental value to attach to it? That's probably it. Little Shop of Horrors, favorite musical. Like I mentioned before, Soul Calibur, favorite fighting game series for all the effect it had on my life and stuff
What's
like
the
that.
what's the sentimental value of Little Shop of Horrors? Obviously, I know. What's the sentimental value of Little Shop of Horrors, Pete?
Well, you see, I was in the play in high school. Our high school did a version of it.
Saw
I
you
was
in.
in it as well. Yep. I played Orange Scavello DDS, and I am fairly positive you can catch just a full story involving that on one of the previous 3 years worth of episodes of this show.
Most likely, there's definitely an episode where we've gone into in depth, like in depth. But you could probably catch you talking about that throughout a few episodes here and there, just period. But there's got
Mhm.
I actually remember you talking about it, right? But yeah, no. My favorite musical is what I have said is my second favorite film of all time, period. Which is, do you remember?
Second favorite film of all time, period.
Yes, which is like my favorite.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
That's not a musical, so that was just some stupid to fucking say. The joke, everybody, is that I think that
I
2001
I
Space
missed the
Odyssey formed that shit.
I
That
missed
was
the
the joke.
musical part.
No, I
That
said
over my
because I said
head.
favorite musical, and I said my favorite musical is actually my second favorite movie of
The
all time.
Lion King.
Yep, yep, yep. My man, he knows his brother. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I heard musical, I'm like, oh, I might actually have a guess at this. Oh.
the animated Lion King, the original Lion King,
Well, yes.
with the stars of yesteryear, where who was in that motherfucker? James Earl Jones, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, motherfucking
Mhm.
Robert Guillaume.
Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, Whoopi
Facts, yes,
Goldberg,
yeah, yep.
whoever the fuck played Ed, Jeremy Irons
Was it John Leguizamo?
playing Ed.
Yeah.
Or it was, I don't know. I don't think John Leguizamo was
Well,
Ed. I
not
mean, he
Ed.
doesn't
Ed was the
talk.
one that didn't
Are
talk
you
that
talking
much.
about the one that was talk? No, I think that was Cheech, the other hyena.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Whoopi Goldberg played one of the hyenas. And I think the other one, John Leguizamo wasn't in it. Was
I don't think he was the other hyena.
he? Okay. But yeah, it was like
I could be wrong. Now I'm curious.
it was a star-studded cast of yesteryear. Yeah, man.
It wouldn't be the only movie John Leguizamo and Nathan Lane were. Never mind, I got Nathan Lane mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah, but I
Shut
say
my damn
thinking of
mouth.
two on food, Nathan Lane wasn't in
I was
there.
not.
What the fuck were you thinking of?
Not John Leguizamo. My dumbass. I'm thinking hyenas Lion King, and my ass typed in hyenas lying on Google.
Lying.
Sure did.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because I was trying to think and talk at the same time. Let's see. Do we have? Oh,
Isn't that what everyone always does? Is think and talk at the same time.
I mean, some people talk before they think.
You know what? You kind of make a point with that.
Bonsai was the dude's name.
Bonsai, Shinzi Bonsai Ned, yeah.
Yeah. Bonsai, voiced by. Really? How does the Lion King wiki not have the actor's name? Whatever. I know the motherfucker's name now. Bonsai.
Does it not say his fucking name?
Not on the Lion King fan wiki. Yeah, it is Cheech. I was right the first time. I guessed myself so fucking hard. I second guessed myself so hard I had to go on a wild goose Google chase when I was right at the beginning. Don't question me. I mean, question me. I could be wrong all the time, but I wasn't wrong this time, and I think that's the point.
Don't question me. Actually, you could question me, just not in this instance. What the fuck? What's his name? Shit, the live action like Lion King remake. Remember when Disney had like a hard on for like trying to do live action remakes of the cartoon Renaissance, which was like chill out.
Had?
What?
Past tense?
What live action remake have they made of the cartoon Renaissance movies recently?
Wasn't Little Mermaid last year? Ain't they working on something else?
I don't know they're working on anything else. They might be, but Little Mermaid, good point. Because
yeah, because of the whole controversy of the race
swap. Little Mermaid, yeah. Even though it was like Halle Bailey, who was like very well known and very capable, but you know that's a whole different story. But no, shit. In the tradition of the star-studded cast of the time, the live-action remake had a star-studded cast of now. Well, they had Donald Glover, Beyonce, James Earl Jones came back, Chiwetel Ejiofor. They like I forget who else was in. Billy Eichner. It's like a few motherfucking people.
They replaced Scar and then also took out Be Prepared. I think someone told me
they didn't replace Scar. Chiwetel Ejiofor was Scar. You can't replace Scar. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Never mind. You're right. They changed his voice actor to Chiwetel Ejiofor. Thank you.
I thought you were saying like
and removed the song in addition. I think someone told me.
Be Prepared is my favorite Disney song, and they took it out the movie. Yeah.
Even if I don't know if Sir Ejiofor can sing or not, but even if he can't, just do what you did in the original and get fucking Jim Cummings to dub over his voice and sing the song.
Which is fucking crazy. And that's something that we've talked about in the previous episode too. That's fucking crazy that they actually had like he's so good at voice acting that he could mimic what Jeremy Irons sounding like if he could singing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Jeremy Irons sang like 90% of the song.
This is true. That's right.
And I think a similar thing, if not the entire song, was in The Dark of the Night from Anastasia, where Jim Cummings also came in, this time for Christopher Lloyd to sing some lines near the climax of that song.
Never seen Anastasia.
Ah.
Good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's got a cult following. It's not like, oh my God, Anastasia. You've never seen Anastasia? That's like missing out on Singing in the Rain. No. However, well, then again, there may be a large portion of people who disagree with me on that.
That's fair.
I think that's
That
the
is
best way to put that. I like it. It was good. I missed it. It was one of those films I missed when I would have been age-wise target demographic for it. However, I can still appreciate it for what it is. So I don't have the same sentimental value attached to it as people who grew up with it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Kind of like you in a Goofy movie, you dumb mother. Anyway, um,
Goofy movie's better than Anastasia.
coming from you, what does that mean?
It means I never said the Goofy movie was bad.
You never said it was bad. It's just the way that I always say
I didn't
is
go, that
every
movie's terrible. You should see a Goofy movie 3. Now that one at least had creativity.
there's no
No,
such
I didn't
thing.
have anything like that.
There's no
Okay.
such thing.
Huh?
There's no such thing. There's just Goofy movie and very Goofy movie. There's no such thing.
Okay, the bottom line is it's a very goofy movie as good as a goofy movie.
For what I remember, is it as good? No, but is it damn good? It's pretty damn good.
Huh, fair. I don't remember very
But
goofy movie.
it doesn't have the iconic like there are movies that defined, a decade, a generation, whatever. And for millennials, those movies were, just to name a few, Good Burger, a Goofy movie, Matilda, movies that everybody saw and everybody really fucking loved, or at least like it holds a special place. Space Jam. Like these are movies for millennials where it's like, yeah. So does a very goofy movie or extremely whatever it's fucking called, does that have the same type of like nostalgic bond and iconicness? No, a Goofy movie has that.
Mhm. Agreed.
So that's why when you are of a certain age and somebody talks about a Goofy movie and you just like, it's all right, makes me want to like, break shit. Like, how dare you?
It's okay, Jazz. See, I oh yeah, there was like a 3 month pause for the last few months of what you call it, whatever we want, season 3, due to things discussed in the first episode of this season. But a development that I'm not sure, I don't think we had a chance to talk about it on here, and we can talk about that in a second. But something that happened during that time, a mangaka of high respect passed away.
Mangaka.
A manga writer, I apologize.
Oh, okay. I did not know what that meant. Okay.
And a manga is pretty much the comic book form of animes. Um, one that particularly you would be familiar with, Akira Toriyama passed away earlier this year. Uh, I hijacked an episode. Now, here's the good news for you. I hijacked an episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen, like jumped ahead in the order from what we were doing because I wanted a second opinion because we argued a certain movie for a while. I even alluded to it this time and it went over your head. That is, 20 whatever's Dragon Ball Super Brawling.
I figured that's what you. I thought you were gonna say Bio Brawling, to be honest, but okay.
What? Oh my God. The guy barely has interest in DBZ. I'm not going to make Bio Brawly the movie I force him to watch.
Bio Brawling is not the best movie ever. It's just not straight up utter garbage. Anyway.
But you still say it's better than this one. And that's where you and I have had our issues over the past.
Did I say Bio Brawling was better than that?
Well, you vehemently defended and you said this one was so boring you couldn't stay awake through it. Y'all can catch the videos. It is one of the main through lines on the Feo Grande channel, which is one of the 2 channels this is airing on now. So it's easy for you to find.
sounds like past Jazz was tripping a little bit and needed to calm down. Like I stand by some of those words. Some of those words sound like they were a little out.
However,
Okay.
one of your what I was gonna say being the good news for you is Bill did not agree with me about liking the movie. He didn't hate it. He didn't say it was bad, but he did agree it was a little too much action and not enough story, which was another thing you said.
I remember saying that shit. Yes.
Yes. So I apologize for going so hard on your movie opinions in the past. Turns out I'm the one with the shitty movie opinions.
Oh,
Uh
don't do that.
I'm still, hey, I don't need to the, the footage is out there if you want to see what my movie opinions are. I've got another show called This Guy Hasn't Seen
Well,
where we
which is
review a
all
lot of
about your
movies.
movie opinions,
And if
right?
you want to see Jazz and I talk about Dragon Ball movies, those are also on a playlist on the channel as well, where we watch all of them except Superhero, which we need to.
We
You're
need to.
behind one.
We need to because we have seen
You're
every single
behind
one.
one.
This is true.
You're behind one now, so you need to see Superhero. Um, yeah, but yeah, so there you go with that. And one of the things I say is like I won't say I have a terrible movie opinion. That's that's just preposterous. However, uh my movie opinions are a little too lenient. I'm too easy to please when it comes to movies. And I will say this because the worst movies that have been brought on to TGHS, 3 out of the 4 of them were brought by me.
But see, this is my thing, right? Because I know you're gonna say
Oh
like
no, I'm talking about when I rewatch it, I also go, ooh.
I know you're gonna say that one of the four is Wanted, which fuck y'all.
Oh, actually wasn't.
Oh shit.
No, that wasn't any shade at you. Now,
Go ahead.
no, you say your point because now you got me thinking.
What was I gonna say? But no. To say that like you're too lenient on movies, and to say that your opinion is invalid because you don't look so in depth and all that. It's like that's not necessarily a fair critique on you. I think as somebody who at times people might say looks too hard into movies or whatever, which I think to an extent ain't necessarily fair either. But
Yeah, Wanted's not on them.
oh shit. But I honestly think that you are entitled to your opinion. I think anyone is entitled to any opinion with the art, with
Oh,
arts
almost
in general.
definitely.
Well, I was gonna say you're entitled to any opinion with arts, within the arts, period, as long as you actually come from a founded place of what you feel. Like, don't just say it was bad. Why? Because it was. But if you say the movie was, if everybody thinks that the movie was amazing, and then you say it was bad, and then you say, well, I didn't like this, I didn't like the action, I didn't like the way the story did this. If you can actually kind of, I'm not even saying you got to turn into a fucking college professor giving a lecture, but if you can, to so many ways, articulate your opinion, you can fucking have the consensus opinion on every fucking movie. So
Agreed. And
to say
again, I
that's
didn't
not
say invalidated. I was just saying of the 3 of us, I'm a little too lenient because there are some movies where I'll come out and I'm like, yeah. But when you sign off on mediocrity, you discourage greatness. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying I'm a little too lenient. I'm not saying my opinion isn't valid. I think my leniency puts me with the most common opinions.
which I don't think it is anything.
The masses, if you will.
I think that there's something wrong with agreeing with the masses across the board if that's like all you did for every movie, every time, with everything. But just because majority of your opinions are like everybody happened to like it, shit, I did too, and I didn't like it because everybody did. I just happened to fucking like it. I'm nothing wrong with that.
Oh no.
I get called a contrarian with shit because sometimes people think that I purposely don't like shit.
You get
But a
called
lot
a
of
contrarian because you are Jazz. No.
I thought you were being for real for a minute.
No, yeah.
But I get called a contrarian, and it's like a lot of times I end up not liking stuff that everybody happens to like before I know what the consensus is. I might see something early on, and be like, "Oh, I ain't like this shit." Gonna find out everybody loved it. I didn't know y'all was gonna let it shit. So
Yeah, no, I don't think you're a contrarian per se. I don't think I've seen that many times where you hated something just because it's
just because
popular.
that's
Now, what I will say, and this will go back to me, and this will probably contradict what I was saying earlier about me being the most lenient with things out of whatever. But I say out of the three of us, me, you, and Bill, just
yeah,
with some of the opinions, I'm probably the most lenient.
I get what you mean.
That said, um, I do have a tad bit of contrarianism to myself. It's not necessarily that I'll hate something because it's popular. However, there have been numerous occasions where something got too popular before I got into it, and it made me adverse to starting it.
You have said like you have to catch yourself from feeling that way sometimes. You've
Because
said
there are
that.
something, the thing, and I guess what I mean by too popular isn't necessarily all too many people like this. It's more so it reaches that level of popularity where the fandom gets weird, and the fandom gets a stigma attached to it based on that weirdness. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I would
And
say
it's like, do I really want to? It sounds like the most judgmental ass thing. Do I really want to be associated with those people?
I know you don't mean that as hard as it comes off. That's funny. Fucking plebeians.
Do I
Cunts,
really want to be
cunts,
associated with those people? But
cunts,
there's
capillaries,
a little
injury.
bit of that. There's a little bit of that with certain things where I'm like, man, for it. But however, that doesn't mean I won't ever start anything. There was a time when I thought, wow, at 500 chapters, y'all One Piece niggas is weird. y'all trying to get into this series where it's got 500 something chapters, and they even
Meanwhile, you
found the Grand Line yet? Do they even know where the Grand Line is? Yeah, they
meanwhile, you a huge One
yeah,
Piece like advocate.
shut the fuck. But huh?
Meanwhile, you're like one of the biggest One Piece advocates right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I do enjoy the series. You wouldn't know it based on the background because I have like pretty much everything not One Piece
You
related.
have no One
However,
Piece. Yeah.
at one point, Chopper was on the show in the front until the One Piece fandom almost made me regret. See, and that's the thing. Some weird motherfuckers popped up in the One Piece fandom that made me almost regret ever go. Actually, they made me literally regret going public with being a One Piece fan. But fuck it. I got a YouTube channel with 3 videos no one cares about on it. About I got 4 videos on the channel about One Piece, so it's a little bit too public that I'm a One Piece fan for me to retract my fandom publicly. So fuck
Well,
it, might as well embrace it. But it's the weird niggas that was just like that can't accept the fact that nobody likes what they watch. You know what I mean? They keep trying to overcompensate by just lying to folks and annoying them on like social media. Oh my god, the most iconic attack in anime, Gear 5. What the fuck? No, nobody even fucking knows what a Gear 5 is that ain't watched One Piece. They don't even know about Gears 1 through 4.
I don't know what you're talking
Or
about.
the fact that there is no technically Gear 1. The fact of the matter is
I honestly have no idea what that means. I'm not even
yeah,
doing
exactly.
it.
And
I'm not even doing it.
exactly. And that's why it's not iconic. Sorry, folks. One Piece ain't iconic. Deal with it. You don't like a popular thing. Oh no. You fucking zoomers don't know what it's like growing up with people not liking anime. Anime's been mainstream your whole life. Guess what? There was a time when nobody liked anything involved with anime, and you was a weirdo just for liking it. You had to be careful about admitting it in public.
And now, like certified, like about that life hood niggas watch
Mm-hmm.
fucking anime and talk about DBZ. Like
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers who like take no shit and
Yeah.
like
I'm sorry, what
fucking
did they talk about?
DBZ. Oh yeah,
Exactly. They ain't talking about
the
no
biggest
fucking
one.
One Piece.
Well, yeah. The biggest anime in America, the biggest anime I believe of all time is Pokemon. And then it's Dragon Ball Z. The reason why I say Pokemon is because everybody around our age and millennials, and it still comes on to this day, everybody watched Pokemon and was loving Pokemon, whether we knew Pokemon was an anime or not.
Well, it was a game first, but bottom line, because
Yeah,
the
you
game
know,
did come before the anime in Pokemon's case, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, which is the reverse. The anime came and then the card game.
but yeah, and then I say DBZ because DBZ came over from Asia and just got fucking like stupid huge in the States. So
I'm
have we
listening.
have we hit pay dirt?
I don't. I don't think so, but I feel better.
Uh-oh. Oh shit.
So I'm gonna let the eye be open for a little bit. Anyway,
But yeah. I say the biggest anime, like I said, the reason why I say Pokemon though is because, like I say, back in the day, everybody watched Pokemon when we were younger, and to the point where at least maybe not the entire song, but a good amount of lines, people of a certain age, if you play the theme song, will know some of the shit and sing along. And people who hate anime watched Pokemon because we didn't really know what anime was, and it still comes on to this day. And we were playing the games and all kind of shit.
only reason I say Dragon Ball over Pokemon here, anime wise, not as a IP, because I'll also say Pokemon's more iconic than One Piece. Oh,
Well, of
One
course,
Piece. Hell, Pokemon's more iconic than Dragon Ball. Everybody knows what a fucking Pokeball looks like.
exactly,
Um,
exactly.
that said, why I would say anime wise as opposed to just the IP in general is yeah, we watched it a lot in the 90s. A lot of people fell off once you hit like Johto.
Yeah,
There was only 250. You know, there's about as many. No, I think for now, until the next game's announced, there are there's only slightly more One Piece chapters than there are Pokemon. There's over 1,100 One Piece chapters
that's insane.
and episodes for that matter.
But it's like back in the day in the '90s where wrestling was huge in the Attitude Era, right? From late '90s, early 2000s, 97 to '01, because casually everybody before the Rock was Dwayne Johnson, everybody knew who the Rock was, knew Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking shit. But now they say wrestling is having a resurgence and some people have even said like online with the shit I watch, people have even said like wrestling is huge again, maybe even huger than it used to be, this and this and that. And it's like, well, if that's true, it's still casually not that. That's why I say Pokemon.
Well,
Because
wrestling.
casually
I think
everybody's
Pokemon
talking
is
about
more
Pokemon.
intense. I not as much as they used to. It's about what wrestling is. I think wrestling's a great analogy.
That's what I mean. That's honestly what I'm getting at.
Fair.
I just say
I don't know.
if we look at
Then again, we're thinking. Then again, we're thinking. I'm thinking U.S. If I'm thinking, or
look at
rather,
US,
I'm
yeah.
thinking. Or sorry, you're speaking U.S. I'm thinking more along, I guess,
Worldwide.
Western Hemisphere. Because while America may be like what you're saying,
Yeah.
uh, fucking Mexico,
I honestly have no idea. Mexico.
Mexico had those motherfuckers love them. South Mexico and South love them some fucking
Central
Dragon
America,
Ball.
pretty much.
They fucking had actual like government things where government documents where people were like getting sent cease and desist because they were showing fucking Goku versus Jiren in the streets.
What do you mean
Like,
showing?
like, hey, thousands of people meet up at the plaza at this time because the episode where Goku versus Jiren is about to air and we're gonna broadcast it so thousands of people can watch it live in the fucking town square. Let's put up flyers in other like little in other Hispanic countries advertised Goku versus Jiren finale as a fucking fight.
Why do you think? Obviously, I understand Japan and other, Asian countries, but outside of that, why do you think some countries would take to anime more so than others?
Oh, I don't think Mexico takes more to anime than us. I think they take more to Dragon Ball than us.
Oh shit!
That, cause I'm just being honest. That said, I think other cultures in general, America is getting there with certain things, not necessarily the right things, but they are getting there on certain topics. Uh, passion is like passion and I guess expression of it more encouraged, less fucking hatred being encouraged, you know.
I see what
Oh,
you're
this
saying.
person different, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, they'll have that. Like, racism's everywhere. I'm not saying it isn't,
Yeah, right, right.
but you'll hear other cultures talk about American culture and talk about how we don't value family and friends like they do. And while I highly value my family and friends, and I'm sure you do as well, and I know they kind of have a point.
I mean,
Um,
yeah. So I see what you mean. The anime coming over,
so
being very
it's easier for them to be like, "Oh, I like this too. Hey, amigo, da 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 da." Then anime. This nigga likes anime. Laugh at him. Go home and watch anime. That's what happened with here. Clearly, if the hard ass about them life niggas is talking about DBZ as grown
yeah.
ass men, that means back in the day they weren't public about them liking Goku. Like that's
This is
all that
facts.
is. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, a good story is a good story.
Right, right.
Uh,
Of course. Even
and
if
it
even if the entirety of what you're watching, and not even just anime, but the entirety of whatever you're watching is completely in a different language and subtitled, a good story is a good story.
And now, before people go, oh, you just talked about the One Piece people over filleting their series, and now you're filleting Dragon Ball, talking about it being good writing when all they do is scream for 15 minutes. No, that's not. I'm not. Obviously, I'm not talking about the screaming for 15 minutes being what's the good writing. It's good for making people like me go, yay. But it speaks to the fucking. I think that's also what catches those hard motherfuckers is it's a lot of fighting, a
It's a lot of
lot of
fighting, right?
testosterone.
Yeah.
However, the basic story or the basic premise of a guy, at least from Z on, who's just about surpassing his limits, overcoming the odds to save the world. Every fucking superhero ever does it. Goku gets allegories to Superman and
For a
all
good
of that
reason.
kind of thing. Though Superman and Kakarot are two different characters personality wise, just being honest. But the origin, thanks to Dragon Ball Super Broly being Toriyama saying this is the canon version now of Broly's story, that and as well as Goku's origin. Um, that's pretty much literally Superman at that point. Our planet's about to be destroyed. Quick, send our kid to Earth.
Are you talking about Goku or are you talking about Superman?
Yeah,
Like, you know,
exactly. Our kid whose name begins with K A, Kakarot Kal-El.
right.
Now, that said, the general idea of stepping up to oppression or opposers, because you got to think about the whole Frieza thing. While it's not why I like it, I'm not gonna lie. If I haven't heard people from some people who I don't think should be making that claim because they're not part of the group, but I have heard black people say, the whole Goku beating Frieza's racist ass spoke to him. You know
Never
what I mean?
thought about that, but
Like
I
that.
mean, he
I mean,
called him a monkey,
he called them monkeys. And
and he said it with so much just vitriol.
yeah,
Like, oh
monkey
shit.
is his slur. Like that, to be fair, he uses monkey as if he were using the N-word. I just never put the N-word to it. One, because there are far worse things that you can call me than a monkey. Two, I've known people who call their own friends monkeys because they look like fucking monkeys. I'm
So
sorry.
what though?
Some people have a monkey face. That's okay. Sometimes you got a monkey face. I'm not saying you a monkey, you less than human, but if you look like a monkey, you look like a monkey. It is what it is. Now I'm not gonna be like, you belong in a zoo or some shit. That's rude. But I'm saying I've seen people do it. So I never really put the two on the same level. But if a white person came to me and said, "You damn monkey, get the fuck off my lawn," now I'm gonna be mad
Right.
because clearly there was some racial intent behind that use of the word monkey. And Frieza calling the Saiyans monkeys, they literally turned into monkeys. So I didn't put black with it. They look like fucking white people. So, but when people told me, I guess long story short, when people told me they see the correlation with Frieza using monkey and racism, I'm like, yeah, I could
He was
see
like
that.
monkey. Like he would just the way he would just say it, like, oh no shit. Ugh.
This is monkey over here.
Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
you belong in a cage like a monkey you are. Okay, yeah, no, that's clearly
That
he's
sounds
clearly
like
a racist against Saiyans. But I
that
could
sounds
see
like
why
bro.
people would be like, if they've heard that more in the streets from the opposition, you know, being white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever's being racist to them. I don't want to just say all white people are racist.
Right,
It's
right, right.
all kinds of races hate each other. And the world needs to stop. But yeah, I could see that. And yeah, people, but the fact of the matter is that moment, the Super Saiyan moment, more so than any of the gear moments, more so than any of the gear moments combined, because they just look like, oh look, it's a Super Saiyan moment. That's what people refer to whenever they talk about any of those, is oh look, he's having a Super Saiyan moment. That's what happens when fucking Naruto goes Demon Fox mode for the first time. Oh shit, that's his Super Saiyan
Speaking
moment.
of
Oh,
iconic,
Bon Kai, that's his Super Saiyan moment. Oh God, Super Sonic is literally a fucking Dragon Ball reference. He turns
never thought
blonde, gets
about that.
blue
That
eyes.
makes sense.
He needs 7 Chaos Emeralds to do it. Oh yeah, he's Super Sonic. Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Super Sonic. Like Dragon Ball gets referenced. Now, what I will give One Piece is we are starting to get into the fact where people are referencing it. Not in a lot of media, but Homer did dress up as Zoro for a Treehouse of Horrors once. So at least the Simpsons guys are aware that One Piece exists. Uh, uh Luffy just got into the Macy's Day Parade where his hat got deflated last year. Guess you know who was at the Macy's parade like 5 years ago? Kakarot. And it's been there every year since. We'll see if One Piece gets allowed back. Uh I sound like I don't like One Piece. Ladies and gentlemen, I think before someone tried to hit me with the this you, no, I'm not denying. I stated earlier, I'm not denying I'm a One Piece fan. Like Jazz says, I'm a little too big of one. Uh I made it. I made a joke about not wanting to get into the series because of its 500 chapters. But if you just want to talk about the material that 500 chapters or so covers, I think whether it's through reading it or watching the anime, I've pretty much gone through that section of the series about 5 times, 6 times minimum. Not to mention what I've done for the rest of them. Granted, I haven't done a lot of rewatching on chapters 650 or so through now. But the bottom line is, I've seen a lot of One Piece. I'm clearly a One Piece fan.
Right.
Sorry, but niggas need to stop acting like it's iconic. It ain't. You're part of a niche. You're in a niche corner of a niche fucking hobby. You're an anime fan, and you're a fan of the least popular of the big three, at least as far as America goes. The best quality, if you ask me, although Naruto does make a strong argument, Bleach not so much, but that's because the writer literally lost motivation, not necessarily because he doesn't have the skill. He lost motivation to continue it, and he's the example of when a company just says, damn it, you're going to keep making us money and you're going to like it. Yes, sir. That's what happened to the Bleach guy. We all know it's tragic. The fucking manga scene behind the scenes and stuff in Japan and how they treat their manga artists, not the best at all. These motherfuckers work themselves into the hospital.
Yeah.
Oda has. That's part of the reason it's still going, because the man has wanted to end this for a while, even with all the new ideas he keeps popping into his head. But he has to take a lot of hiatuses because in the early 2010s he worked himself into the hospital, and they're like, oh no. Because outside of America, I will say, globally, the only series that has sold more chapters or volumes than One Piece, at least a while ago, is fucking Superman now. I think One Piece outsold Batman at one point.
I feel like you told me that.
Yeah, I think
I read it somewhere.
It just has to deal with Superman, which, you know, Superman started in the fucking 30s. So it's crazy to think that it's almost sold as many copies as, you know, Superman.
In a much shorter amount of time.
In a much shorter time. And it's crazy to be like, how did you just say it's not popular? No, I didn't say it's not popular. I said it's not iconic. The fact of the matter is nobody knows anything about your series.
When I think, like, okay, so going back to what I was saying and then going off of what you were saying, when I think of something being truthfully iconic within the populace and the zeitgeist of what everybody is talking about on a day-to-day, that is when I start thinking of iconic. Because back in the day, like I say, wrestling is not iconic now as it was back in the day. Because
I agree a whole 100%.
Well, yeah, I'm saying what I'm saying. Not that you disagree with me. I'm saying to say piggyback off of you. Because when I think iconic, like you could say Undertaker, Triple H, Stone Cold. Like I said, The Rock before Dwayne Johnson even did one movie. Way before the Scorpion King, and people knew who the fuck you were talking about. If I say Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes, who are two of the biggest names right now, people ain't gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I say Roman Reigns is somebody at work, and they were like, I think that sounds kind of familiar. And he's like the biggest motherfucker like today, you know, within the last however many like years.
They gave him like a 3-year-long championship reign, and you still get I may have heard of him.
So when I think of like the iconic whatever, I think of it is on the lips of people from casual fan to even casualer fan. Steph Curry is iconic because my don't watch basketball ass knows who the fuck that is. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so if you say Goku to somebody, they know who the hell you talk about. If you say Luffy or Monkey D. Luffy or whatever,
I'm surprised you knew his full name. Bottom line is,
but if you say Goku and you say Vegeta, they at least gonna know. If they don't know Vegeta, which they gonna fucking know Goku. Goddamn it, that's iconic.
I have a whole section of one of my drawers that is filled with my Dragon Ball shirts. I have a hat. That's a Dragon Ball hat. There's the fucking poster that I've pointed out like 5 times. There's a fucking Goku statue. Perfect. That's a great example right there. My mother went to Japan. My mom doesn't watch fucking anime. My mom goes, I know my son watches anime. Son, if I'm going to Japan and I can get you something like a figure or something, what would you want me to get you? Can you send me some pictures? Sure, Mom. I'll even give you some options. Here's Vegeta from Dragon Ball. Here's 3 pictures of Vegeta. Here's Zoro from One Piece. Here's 3 pictures of Zoro from One Piece. You know what my mom brought me back?
You tell me. Go ahead.
A Goku statue.
Yep.
Okay? Yeah, and now you may go, but you gave her the pictures. I'll give her a pass. One, it's the thought that counts, and I very much appreciate the fact that my mom was like, "Damn, I'm getting my son something from Japan, a Japanese fucking action figure. Well, not action figure, but like figure thing. It's still in its box. I don't want it to get dusty. That's why." But the bottom line is, she got that for me, and I'm not mad at her for giving me something. I thought it was funny just because, haha, here's 6 pictures and here's a Goku statue. But my point is, the reason it's a Goku statue and not a Vegeta or something like that is she didn't have. I think she said her phone died or something along those lines. She couldn't bring up the pictures that I sent her,
That's hilarious.
so she had to just go with what she knew. And she's like, Dragon Ball. I'm sure Pete liked that or Omari liked that. Got it and sent it to me. And so I appreciate it. And I get a funny story out of it because
Right.
I sent her 6 pictures.
That's such some mom shit though. The woman gives you something and you send her all pictures and then she still gets like something adjacent but not exactly, and you send her pictures.
and,
That's
and 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 you know, all my talks about iconography in America aside, oh, One Piece is iconic in Japan. If there's one place in the world One Piece is iconic, it's Japan. They got statues and shit over there. Their Mugiwara store is its own like chain. Nah, it's iconic over there. You could find One Piece shit everywhere. And my mom just didn't know what the fuck it was because One Piece ain't iconic over here.
well, okay, so like it's like this, right? When like I said, when I think of iconic, I think that it has gone beyond the the huge fandom of whatever, and then other people who could give a fuck know what it is. Like Ash Ketchum is not as iconic as Pikachu. You get what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say
Well,
something.
shit, Chaozu ain't as iconic as Goku.
Exactly. Ain't nobody gonna know what the fuck Chaozu is. People would know Goku and Vegeta before they knew the hell Chaozu was.
Yeah, and they'll know fucking Misty, Pikachu, Brock. Well, obviously Pikachu more so, but you know what I'm saying. Or
But that's
any
what
of
I
the
mean.
50 other Pokemon before they know who Ash is. Like, yeah, so I'll agree with you. I sound very aggressive with the way with my delivery.
Wait, what? What
I
is
sound very aggressive with my delivery, but I agree with you.
the way you just caught yourself? I wasn't even tripping. But you were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I sound very aggressive. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I'm like, my tone is not matching what I'm saying. I'm like agreeing with you, but I sound like I'm arguing with you. Yeah, nobody fucking likes that. Nobody likes.
The way you said that, though. Yeah, I mean, shit. Chaozu. Yeah, people wouldn't know that for Goku. I sound very. What just happened? We had a whole fucking internal like monologue and shit. What the fuck was like? Left brain said the right brain. Well, should we chill the fuck out? Like, what the hell? Oh man. I'm glad when I said left brain said the right brain, I actually touched the left side and the right side when I said it instead of saying left brain, right brain, and did the opposite. That would have been slightly embarrassing on a you trying to sound smart, but you really a dumbass fucking thing. Speaking of having internal conflict, what just happened here? Anyway,
Dude, we went on such a tangent. I had no idea we'd get here from I have an eyelash in my eye or whatever the fuck we started this with.
what's the name of the show?
Whatever we want podcast, apparently. You wouldn't know I knew that with the way we started.
Oh,
This is the what this is the whatever we want podcast.
this mock draft has in sports.
This mock jazz has some sports that you may or may not have seen. You can learn all the lore about it
Well,
if I
that's
want you
that's the
to.
joke. This mock draft has it in sports because this guy hasn't seen mock draft, and then you don't watch sports. You didn't have to say scene at the end because I covered
To hear
it.
the rest of.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, after the scene part.
You don't draft scene.
when I said, when I said, you can learn the lore about it if you want to.
I didn't hear that part.
Or you can learn about it, but only if I want you to, or if we
I
want
heard
you
that
to.
part.
Yeah, you can learn the lore, but only if we want you to. I got us in there too,
Ah.
as well as that other series.
If you're wondering if I want you to, I want you to. You know that song? Do you? Do you really? Or are you just saying? Now I'm just being annoying for no fucking reason and combative just because we were almost near the end of the episode after having a very, very detailed and interesting conversation, and now we're just bullshitting. What happened?
Do I know that song? Now you got
Do
me
you know
thinking.
song?
What was the song?
I don't know exactly all of it, but it's like if you're wondering if I want you to, I want you to, I want you to, something like that.
God, I've heard it. I don't know it though, but I have heard it. If that makes any sense.
It does and it does not at the
Like
same.
I couldn't tell you who sings it. I can't tell you how old it was or when I heard it,
You
but
ain't got
I
to go
heard
that
it.
far. I wasn't
I've
asking
heard it
for
before. That's all I'm saying. I couldn't I'm not gonna pass any quizzes involving it.
it wasn't
And we
that
know
deep.
how I am with quizzes on this show. Speaking, okay, yes, for the people out there that think I'm just out here to hate on One Piece, we have an episode from, I'm pretty sure, season 1, where Jazz and I have quizzes to see who's a bigger fan of the thing that they brought the
One
quiz
Piece
for.
Avatar for me.
Yeah, it was Avatar The Last Airbender. Jazz, giant fan, has made numerous videos regarding Avatar The Last
Numerous.
Airbender on his old channels back in the day, some of his earliest YouTube content. Some kind of number that describes the amount of videos you have, numerous videos about, I guess that would be numberish, I guess, with the way I just described it. Numberish videos about Avatar The Last Airbender. I have numberish videos about One Piece on my channel. We decided to have a quiz. One of us did better than the other. I won't say who. Go watch the episode.
Gee, I won't say who, like you didn't just heavily fucking allude to and actually pretty much say who. What the fuck? What the hell? That's like somebody being like, hey, they back there whooping everybody's ass. I'm not saying they fighting. What the fuck they
You don't
do?
think I'm good at fighting games? I faced Jazz one the other night, 100 games in a row, and played that. I'm not gonna tell you who won, but I'm telling you it happened.
That's a much better example. Yes, exactly.
But
Um,
no,
um, but yeah, man, what's his name? Like, yeah, no, we did. We've done some quizzes on the channel, and I'll tell you, yeah, he beat me in his respective quiz compared to my respective quiz.
I took two of them because the first one was too easy.
I see. I don't even remember the shit that involved. Not saying you're lying. I just don't even remember it that involved. That is most likely true. What's his name? We haven't done a guided episode on here in a little bit too, so we might be able to do for that. Because the whole thing with the guided episode is, as I have dubbed it, is whenever we do the guided episode, I usually do it, and I don't tell your ass. Next thing I know, oh shit.
It would
Anyway,
be fun. We haven't done one for season 4. No, we haven't.
we didn't really do one for last season, do we?
Yeah.
Not really though. Like maybe like
Wasn't that the asshole one? No, the asshole. There was 3 of us.
if you want to, I guess you could count that as a guided episode. Yeah,
No, that definitely was, but that was 3 of us. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
that
Pretty
was
sure that had Big Bro Ibn on it.
Ibn was on there. Shout out to Big Bro.
His unofficial nickname, Big Bro Ibn.
Can you say that?
It, here's the thing: whether or not I can, I have it. I think Bill started it on some of the videos because of our like mention Ibn. Shout out to Big Bro. So it's like Big Bro.
Oh, he started calling him Big Bro Ibn.
Everyone so he. It's not like he says it every time or nothing.
That's what's up.
But I heard him say it before in reference to the whole thing, and I'm like, you know what? That works.
I bet Ibn would love to know that he's Big Bro Ibn because of me with the whole shout out to Big Bro, and now we all do that now. I bet he would
I
love to
mean,
know that.
motherfucking taller than I am anyway. Might as well be big bro living.
You the third
Acts
brother.
more mature too sometimes.
Out of the three of us, Ibn acts the most mature a lot of times. This is not a lie. He does act the most mature quite often out of three grown ass men.
Well, you see, the thing about Big Bro Ibn is out of the three of us, regardless of which one is the oldest, he's the only one who is a big bro. The other two of us are little bros and have always been little bros. Me being a figurative one, with the three of us being big, but you know what I mean. Literal life, I'm the little bro.
Right. Shout out to your siblings,
Yeah.
and the dopeness surrounding them. You know how much I love them too. But yeah,
Thanks.
all of that being said, if, what the fuck? Been friends with you how long, and that shit still fucking me. Anyway, all that being said, if I thought you were gonna do it again, if
You
you would
gotta
like
be
to,
predictably unpredictable. It is a very thin line to cross. But
as if everybody knows you're gonna do some random shit.
yes, and that you still surprise them with randomness. But where the geniusness of it comes in is that extra bit of annoyance when they know that they should have seen it coming. So you get that little bit of like the thing just right there where you're like,
I'm like, did I have a little
how
bit of
long?
annoyance? Huh?
You're like, I've been friends with you how long? I'm still getting called with that. Not like you're mad, but just the God damn it. I should have seen
Okay.
that.
Okay,
God damn it.
that is what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay.
Yes.
With that being said, if you would like to follow us on our respective socials outside of what you are seeing and hearing at the moment, you can go ahead and follow yours truly. Go ahead and look me up on Twitter. I ain't fucking posted no tweet in a long time. But go ahead and look me up on Twitter under the name Super Jazz 2. So that's going to be SUPERJAZ number 2. Go ahead on Instagram, find and follow me under the handle Forever Super Jazz, the word forever spelled correctly, and started a theater company a year ago, and we got this ball rolling. This train is going, baby. These brakes are not being hit anytime soon. So, if you would like to stay up to date on all things about my production company as far as acting and theater and just whatever else involved, go ahead on Facebook, like the page Aquarian Rising Productions. That's Aquarian, not Aquarius, to stay up to date with all things involved with that theater company. Our next show that we got is going to be October 4th. So that's a Friday. It's going to be that weekend after that. October 4th, it is Top Dog Underdog by Susan Laurie Parks. So you can go ahead and check that out. Like the page, stay up to date with it, because obviously next season, it's going to be some more stuff going. I got some ideas up in the old noggin about what to do for 2025. Where can they find you, my man?
Well, obviously, you guys can find me here every week, every Wednesday, regardless if you're watching it on the Whatever We Want podcast channel or my other channel, Feo Grande. That's Feo Grande, where we got even more shows over there. Got a show on Tuesdays called This Guy Hasn't Seen, doing a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show, the aforementioned Bill Smith. I also have another show with Bill on Saturdays called You Don't Watch Sports. Two guys talking about 3 topics to help you sprinkle a little information into your casual sports conversation as where you're guiding life through to see that as sports talk. Also have a periodic show on Mondays, Mock Draft Mondays, where with Bill and I mock and whoever else, and if we have other episodes on there, just kind of mock drafts of various things. We got a couple episodes up already. Like one episode was, I believe, make a football team using Looney Tunes characters.
Okay.
And we also have something that'll be kind of a little mini through line for mock draft, a little fantasy wrestling thing going on. I'm getting bodied right now, thanks to Clash at the Castle. Thanks to Clash at the Castle, pulled him to the lead. Let me tell you something. When you pick the heavyweight champion, think he's gonna get you some points, and he has like one match since you do it, boy. At least he won it. At least he won it. Anyway, it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but I
That's
at least
cool.
got the
Y'all-
king and queen of the ring on my team, on my fantasy draft.
That's
But
funny. You're doing
some other people.
you're doing fantasy football with wrestling. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have other stuff on there. Like I said, we have other episodes down the line that we're doing. That's on Mondays. I also have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That's GIOTAVI. Come on in, stop on by. There are more shows planned for the channel, more videos planned for the channel. We just gotta actually get it all set. But we're growing, or we're trying to. Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together, we'll find everything that we're looking for.
I actually really like that. Anyway, that being said, you're like, damn, I just said that. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I know what I said.
Huh?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I said, oh, I know what I said.
Oh, okay. What?
It wasn't original.
I figured the way you were
Okay.
looking. I know you well enough to know that the look on your face right now, it wasn't. I was gonna roll with it. I've been knowing you.
Well, I didn't want the
most of my
people.
life.
I figured you do, but I didn't want the people at home to think I was gonna act like I ate shit on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Bars or shit. You know, nigga, you ain't cooking. That's microwaved.
I'm gonna act like I ate when ain't shit on my plate. You ain't cooking that's microwaved. So let me see if I can go to the bank and save you from yourself. Oh shit, with the elf on the shelf, but you ain't even got nothing left. So let me dodge it, even if my chin had a cleft. I don't know.
So what are we gonna talk about next week's chat? Nah, you had some bars, as they say.
No, I did not.
Bars. No, those
Did
first
not.
two lines were pretty sick.
That you said, motherfucker. The fuck? The first three lines were plagiarized. The fuck? We are prolonging the hell out of this fucking outro. This fucking episode been done for like fucking 2 minutes, 3 minutes now. Anyway.
We're gonna talk about whatever we want.
All right. I love how you asked the question. You asked yourself and then answered your own question. Like you asked it and then answered it. That being said, though, be nice to yourself, everybody. I ain't got nothing to say. Shit.
Adios, this.